What is going on, guys? nKuch here, and today we're going to be doing a list of the top 3 best Rise of Iron primary weapons. Now, it's important to note that I will not be including any weapons that came out before the expansion release date, such as the Grasp of Malak, Last Word, and Thorn. This video will only be on brand new weapons. One more thing I thought I'd mention is that this list is solely based on my opinion. Some of you may disagree, and that's totally fine. I understand that people have different preferences and tastes when it comes to weapons. This is just a list that I came up with after playing the Rise of Iron expansion and Crucible overall for the past month. For those of you who watch my videos on a daily basis, I'm sorry for not uploading these past couple days. I had a medical issue that I had to take care of, but we're back now and we'll be uploading daily. The first weapon that we're going to be taking a look at on this list is the Clever Dragon, and that came in at the number 3 spot of this list. It is a pulse rifle that's very similar to the Grasp of Malak, which is very fast in terms of its rate of fire, and for the most part has low impact, but can 3 burst very easily if you land mostly headshots. The reason why this weapon is at the number 3 spot is because of its fast time to kill and versatility when it comes to different ranges. You can take this thing into the pulse, auto, or even the scout rifle range and have massive amounts of success, and that's because the weapon is very forgiving. It feels like even though you miss a bunch of your shots, the rate of fire compensates for that, and you'll most of the time get the kill, which is very nice. Now, the one thing I do not like about it is that you have to rely on RNG from Iron Banner to get yourself a good roll. The recoil pattern right out of the gate is just very bad. I have a hard time managing it, and it definitely needs like a perfect balance, counterbalance, or some sort of stability perk down the middle to make it a top tier weapon. At the number 2 spot, we have the Blind Perdition. This is a pulse rifle that you can get from the Trials of Osiris Lighthouse chest or for going 7-0. Obviously, the Adept version is much better because it has snapshot built in, which is just pretty fantastic. Unlike the Clever Dragon, this archetype is a lot slower when it comes to the rate of fire, which means that you have to hold your ground a little bit more and anchor parts of the map. If you let enemies get too close to you, you won't have a fighting chance because this has a slower rate of fire, which means you have to be accurate and precise with your bursts. Being a sharpshooter definitely helps. You don't want to be wasting any of your bullets and missing targets because other people will have a chance to kill you very easily. One question that a lot of people may be asking me is why did I put this weapon above the Clever Dragon on this list? And there's pretty much 2 main reasons. The first is a little bit based on myself, and that is that I like a weapon that's more of a sharp shooter. I don't like a weapon that's spammy like the Clever Dragon. I want to make sure that I'm landing all my bullets, and I feel like this weapon, using this weapon makes you a better player because you're forced to land every single one of your bursts. If you miss, most of the time you are going to get punished for it. Now, the second reason why I like this better than the Clever Dragon is of course because the lack of RNG attached to this weapon. You do not have to play Trials of Osiris endless amounts of time to get the perfect roll because Adept or not, it always drops with the exact same roll, and it just so happens that this drops with an amazing roll that you can use in pretty much every single encounter, and you can rely on it pretty easily. If I were a salesperson that had to pitch this weapon to every single person, I would mainly talk about the laser-like stability in combination with the high caliber rounds. That is a combo that would be sure to leave people with nightmares after losing 1v1 gunfights. Now, whenever I'm using this thing, the only time I'm ever losing gunfights is whenever I come up against somebody with the exact same weapon. And finally, for the number 1 spot, we have the almighty Palindrome. Now, let me give you guys a little bit of a story about this weapon. I'm not too sure if this is absolutely true or not, but it's something that I'm thinking, and I realize this is kind of off topic, but I might as well tell you guys because it's something I have on my mind. For those of you who don't know, a few months ago there was an MLG tournament, or I guess kind of like an exhibition where they showed off Supremacy and the new maps, and it was streamed on Twitch and MLG, and it had like 80,000 viewers. I was there, and there was obviously a lot of other YouTubers and streamers who are popular, such as Triple Rag, True Vanguard, Certain Demetrius, my teammates, you know, a lot of people, the list just goes on and on. And so the one thing that we actually talked to the Crucible developers about was how a lot of the vendor rolled weapons were just not good enough. And the reason why people had a massive advantage in Crucible was because some people had amazing RNG rolls on things like the AS Luna, and that was a weapon that was definitely not accessible to everybody. And so one thing on our wish list to them that we told them was we'd like to see primary weapons or shotties, snipers, whatever, with very good rolls on them so that we could pick it up and everybody would have a fair chance in Crucible. And you know what? Rise of Iron came out and the Palindrome had an amazing roll. Now I have absolutely no idea if they listened to us and did that or if it just kind of was a coincidence, but that's an interesting story I thought I'd share with you guys. Now let's talk a little bit more about this weapon specifically. The Palindrome is a hand cannon that you can buy from the Crucible Quartermaster for 150 legendary marks. Since year 2 came out, the AS Luna has been dominant in Crucible, and this is the only thing that can pretty much compete with it that is accessible to all players. It comes with rifle, barrel, and rangefinder, which is very important on hand cannons. Range is very key, and I would argue the most important thing on a hand cannon. And so the things that make this possibly better than the AS Luna is the recoil direction and the aim assist. The recoil direction and pattern is pretty much straight up in the air and it's very predictable, and on top of that it has more aim assist than the AS Luna, making it fairly easy to land your shots at a distance. This weapon is extremely effective at short, medium, and long range, which makes it absolutely dominant in the Crucible. That's gonna do it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like as it supports the channel. Subscribe for more daily Destiny content. Have a great day, and I'll see you all later. Peace.